very pretty, but if you don't mind...
I would totally trash them.
T-Rex.
Bye-bye!
Oh, and now my frame rate jumped right back up.
Oh, so it's us drawing on it that screws it up.
No doodling.
Oh my
So-
gosh. So there are fireworks going on, and that was a big one.
Yeah.
I didn't hear it.
They're using, like, actual special effects outdoor stadium fireworks next door.
Or
Oh,
they've
yeah.
just poured their own gunpowder, so, one of those things.
I mean,
It only takes 3 ingredients.
I'm in North Carolina, and, like, every neighbor on the block set off some sort of fireworks, including us.
That's...
The little ones I don't mind, but when you're in, like, wildfire season in California, screw you
Uh,
idiots.
No, I totally hear that. I mean, we can have fires here. Although we're not dry like you guys are at the moment. But, no, we're not talking just, your average... We set off like your average Roman candles and fireworks. But, some of the neighbors down the block had the big mortars. Thoop, bam! And this is right as I'm, like, rocking my daughter to sleep. I'm like,
Aw.
thanks, guys. This is awesome.
Baby.
No
Happy
fireworks in Charlotte
Fourth.
this year.
She never flinched. I was like, oh, you're awesome. Thanks for being a great daughter. Never
Nobody's
flinched.
gonna lose their dog this year due to fireworks?
Oh, yeah.
Or none. Fantastic. Georgia doesn't care either way.
My girlfriend's
What?
dog, when it starts thundering really bad, she will find the smallest possible place that is as close as possible to her humans to hide.
Oh,
Oh.
poor BB.
Like when I was over there making curry, it was thundering and lightning. So there's this little nook between the cabinet and the stone, between the cabinet and the oven, and I was standing like in front of that space. So she was hiding between the cabinet and the stove and me the whole time that was thundering.
Well, now there's also sirens going off, so it's just the fucking apocalypse, and the poor dogs across the street from us are going crazy. It's gonna be a night. So, with that,
We
did you have a doodle summary, Tribby, or what?
I did
I will.
not. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Who are we missing? Someone?
We are not missing anyone. Everyone's here.
Lolly. No, I mean on the map.
Oh, she's on the
that's
map.
what-
She just hasn't moved herself.
Yeah.
We're back at Alarsa Mall.
I'm boosting her up. There you go. Wally's
I
now.
have the hardest time with this software, so I apologize.
And we don't know why. Okay.
Not yet.
You would have figured it out.
Alright. So, I have a question. Are we still streaming, or did we pause while
Yes.
Sam got to eat her? Okay.
You should say the word yes.
Fidelio.
Thank you.
Alright. So, would anyone like to do a summary, or should I handle it?
If you
You
don't
go
mind.
right ahead.
Okie dokie.
Oh, I liked Garrett's last time.
I know, but we didn't give him any warning, so he didn't have anything prepared for this
I'm
time.
sorry.
It's
So-
all my fault.
I've been busy this month buying a house and junk. But no, I'll put aside all my time for drawing doodles for you, y'all.
My god, you make it sound like I'm asking so much of you.
So much. Those crayon
Just
doodles
crayon
take
drawings.
hours.
Those crayon doodles take like 2 minutes per doodle.
We filled up the map and slowed down Garrett's computer.
I know. So,
Anyway.
welcome to the first episode of Steel Tranquility that we're going to attempt to actually use a virtual tabletop. It's going to be awful. Spoilers. We are all getting used to it, and it's a little rough. We're just using it for character markers. So basically, right now, I'm going to turn off your doodling permissions for everyone.
No.
Just to explain reasoning why really quick, is just because on this map, the only thing that I want to do is bring us into a marker of where the ship currently is and how fast it's going. Because in essence, Echo is your navigator. You don't have to worry about that. You can still move your characters around. In battle maps, I will enable you guys to draw, until one of you draws a penis. And then
he'll disable it for everyone, so be cool.
I'm not saying there'll be a meteor strike, but objects fall from the sky all the time. It's weird.
Next check.
A giant dildo? What?
I mean, if you draw a giant penis on the map, that tells me some god of phalluses has been invited to drop something.
D20 of doom and
He is Penor, the god of penises.
Pelor's brother.
Oh boy. Anyway, so last game we had a relatively calm game. All of you had taken the night to recover. In the morning, you spoke to the lighthouse tenders, which it turned out there was two. There was an apprentice and a master. The master of this lighthouse gave you a necklace that would allow you to dock at any lighthouse for repairs, and then also gave you an envelope to go recruit people to replace all the dead. You guys came back to town, turned in the boat to the Getty Ziaz, which they were appreciative of, and they were appreciative of the tale of a Yuan Ti getting stink bombed.
That's fun time.
You then went next into the harbor master's office and turned in that envelope that had been covered in seaweed and stamped with the blue seal. And the harbor master had been somewhat cranky about the idea, but the people who had lost their boats or lost their jobs due to some of the boats not coming into port had a little bit of hope from that. Afterwards, you retired to the Dingy Bird for some breakfast, ate a big breakfast. It was explained to Fairness what was going on with the compass and that it has been at least located, but it's on a ship, and you guys have to go get it. All of those shots in the background are, for now, fireworks. We'll update you if that policy changes. After breakfast and after the update, you guys decided to get the ship ready. Latham and Jyotis went to go get a navigator, which you guys hired Echo again. Meanwhile, Lestrin and Lolly had a misadventure. They went to get some ice cream, some boots, and they wound up at the haberdashery where they once again met Vigil, one of the leaders of the Broken Crown Thieves Guild, who informed them that they were still planning on a heist eventually whenever the Magisters do plan to throw a ball, and that they will reach out to the party for help with it. Lestrin got some very fancy boots. Finally, we come to Garret, who got his sheath at last, and then proceeded over to the Aether Chain Guild to learn a little something about himself, as well as a little more about what the Far Sahar were, and what the trials mean, and what it means to be an Eldritch Knight. With a little bit of extra info, some new supplies, all of you are just about ready to sail out, because Lolly, in her dream, had been visited by her patron and told that children were being kidnapped in Raisha. And it was by something called the Irrevocable. We begin at the docks, with currently the Getty Ziaz helping you to get the ship ready. And you notice immediately that the harbor master's assistant is actually there in person. It is currently mid-afternoon. And she approaches Jyotis and Garret and walks up, adjusting her little half-moon spectacles before looking at you and just, gentlemen, is one of you the captain?
Jyotis looks over to Garret.
Owner.
Yes.
Okay. Owner works. We had some goods we'd like shipped to Raisha. Specifically some construction materials. They tend to get hit hard after storms because they don't have... And she points over towards the lighthouse. Would you be okay with transporting it? We would pay. Average is 50 gold per ton.
How large is the load?
It's about a 1-ton load. We can have it done in about less than 30 minutes.
Yes. Give me some documentation so we have everything on the level. But
Of course,
I would
of
be
course.
happy to try.
If you don't mind grabbing your ship manifest, I'll sign off on it, and we'll transfer the documents over to you.
By chance,
Of course. I shall be right back.
Latham over here and asks, by chance, would you also like to add a insurance policy? 16 gold per ton.
She pauses at that and just...
It's backed by the guild notes. Doesn't mean shipping guild.
The Djani?
Johnny. It's backed by the Johnny.
Roll of... Holy shit. Roll either
Wow, that's a
deception
hell
or
of a roll.
persuasion. If you are bullshitting, roll a deception. If you are telling the truth, roll persuasion.
I think it'd be more fun if I say bullshitting. So we're gonna go with. I mean, it's more fun just to like.
Yeah, no, it totally is. You're fine.
The 12.
I'm already collecting the manifest, so I can't hear any of this.
Right.
Persuasion. Is that what you said? For bullshit?
Deception. If you're
Deception.
lying, it's deception.
Or either way, it's +6, so that's 18.
I think she's gonna buy that. Give me 1 second.
Damn.
Yeah, she's gonna buy that. Yeah, she.
Always sell the protection plan. It has Best Buy taught you nothing.
Oh, it doesn't cover water damage, though.
She gives a slight nod and just, yes, we'll add 16 gold onto the protection. That sounds wonderful if it's covered by the Djani, so... And she marks it off. Well, as you're in standing with the Getty Ziaz, we will pay in advance, so long as product arrives in Raisha.
Oh,
and with that, she reaches into a pouch, grabs a sack of money, and turns towards Latham and just, I assume you as the contract negotiator and plan writer.
Yes.
Oh, good. She hands you the money.
Wait, let me get a quote from this lizard folk over there.
Oh. Small lizard folk. Careful.
So, Latham, you are handed 66 gold.
Cool. I'll pass off the 50 to our accountant.
So, Garret, once you grab the ship manifest, and when you're going in to grab it, you do see that Echo is already overviewing the maps, gives you a general wave, and just, hi, boss. Good to be back.
Give her a nod and keep off. Get off the boat to take the manifest over to.
Yeah, and as you bring up the manifest, the assistant looks at you and just, oh, and I've paid your protection plan person. It looks at him oddly a bit and just, do you wear a suit while you sail? That is odd.
One
The
must
look
be
on my
pretty.
face at the mention of the protection plan is one of utter confusion. And I went ahead and rolled just to see how well I could compose myself to not give away his game. And I rolled a 6 on the die, so...
Well, thankfully, her native wisdom is only an 11. So whereas she looks at you odd for a second, she kind of counterbalances it and has this like, oh, well, the Djani are covering it. So, wonderful.
I want to make
And,
sure to not let it book.
and after handing over the papers to you, she goes ahead and stamps the ship manifest, indicates what's going on it, and then notarizes it. And then hands it back to you. Now, the person you'll be dropping this off with is currently, well, the harbor master of Raisha is actually also the rear admiral of the Summer Sun Corsairs there. So, They will most likely be on hand or have one of their assistants on hand to take the items.
Noted. We shall make sure to get it as quickly and as safely as possible.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And
My pleasure.
with that, they begin loading the ship for you. The name... Sorry, waiting for a document to load.
And what are we transporting here?
Construction material.
Supposedly.
Are we allowed to
It's
look
in-
inside the crate?
Box?
This
Well,
is
it's...
purely Brit.
There's some wooden planks. There are some barrels and some boxes being brought on board. Should you like to inspect it, of course you can.
Yes. I am so nosy. I am going to be like, ooh, presents.
I would assume the wood and stuff is just bundles. Like, it's pretty
Are they
obviously
wooden boxes,
wood.
or are they wood in boxes, or wood?
Well,
attached
the
up?
wood is not in boxes. That would be inefficient. But,
Do I do a perception?
yeah,
Or
you can do a
investigation?
perception check.
Oh, okay.
Well, it depends. Are you going through the boxes, or are you just looking?
I'm just kind of snorking around, checking it out.
Then that's a perception.
Okay. 17.
Okay. With a 17, everything seems to be mundane items that are being brought on. The closest thing to a weapon appears to be some carpenter tools, like hammers and saws.
Hammers and saws and axes and things.
Right.
Okay.
It's an off branch of hats and wares.
We need you to document everything for the insurance policy. And wow, somebody's laughing.
The assistant has already taken off at this point because
Oh,
she's
okay.
signed all the paperwork, given you the gold, the goods are being put on the boat. And in the meantime, it is
Wow.
actually dedicated in the ship's manifest. It is 1 ton of reconstruction materials.
Okay. Well, if she's gone, I am going to use my Firbolg magic detect magic.
Okay.
And I sense the presence of magic within 30 feet of me. And what skill
Mhm.
it is. And I see a faint aura.
Mm-hmm.
Do I see anything?
Jyotis' leg. Normal day. Ooh, Lestran's
Blocked by 1
boots.
foot of
That's
stone,
new.
1 inch of common
Oh.
metal, a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood or dirt. Okay, while this is going on, I'm also going to check for any sort of like lead lining or. I'm definitely
no.
making this an investigation. Like I'm.
Okay, roll an investigation.
13.
Not bad. There's nothing lead lined. And in fact,
Okay.
that would be really bad because they're trying to get as much of the construction material on here as they can. So a lead lined box would be extremely heavy.
Yeah.
You do have a lead lined box with something in it.
Ooh.
Yep, we do.
What?
Don't you remember?
I don't.
The thing
remember.
that Zarbel paid you for the Horned Gate.
That's right.
Yeah.
But that is the only lead box.
But it's a small, isn't it? Like a foot by foot.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is a tiny lead box.
Yeah.
Who knows what could be in there? Such treasures.
We know
So-
what's in it. She showed it to us.
So all the
That's
items
right,
that they have put on the
storm
boat.
Thingy. That was a while
Yes.
ago. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Storm thingy.
I don't know
remember
what
now.
triggered suspicious, Lolly. Like, I don't want to blow up your boat yet.
I know it triggered suspicious lolly. It's
There's
the
a
fact that we're
choice
going to
there.
Summerbella and there's a freaking Snallygaster there.
Yes.
And that was in a crate.
And also, I'm curious about why we're taking time to load up the boat with silly things that don't do anything.
Well, because you're
Fine.
getting paid.
Fine.
It does take about 30 minutes, but by 1 p.m., everything is ready to go. Is there anything that any of you would like to do before departure?
Yes. Lift off the rope, off the dock, and go.
I would like to send a quick note to Vati
Okay.
about what we sort of talked about earlier.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's just, probably just a notation that Jyotis
Yeah.
is sending some correspondence to Vati.
Yeah, and I believe that you were going to roll two,
Yeah, I was.
two intelligence checks and 1 dexterity check.
Tell
I'm gonna go ahead and disembark so I can go get some ice cream.
Okay.
Awesome. Hey,
oh shoot, I
would
need
you
to
mind
get travel
bringing me
supplies.
back one?
Yeah. We completely skipped over buying like hardtack and stuff for the sea.
Actually,
No.
Lestrin already did
I-
that.
Oh,
Lestrin
yeah.
handled
Oh,
that.
okay.
Yeah.
You said
I'm just doing this to annoy Lolly.
you said 2 intelligence, right, Bob?
2 intelligence, 1 dexterity, please.
Yep. Okay, so the first intel is 21.
Okay.
The second intel is 24 because it was a net
Jeez.
20.
Jesus.
And the dex is 17.
Okay. The key that you create is simple, but also effective. Without understanding what Vati would understand, which basically the cipher you use is just like your creation date and his creation date. That's the cipher. So you use that simple cipher. You've drafted this document up in what time you had, and in the meantime, holy crap, neighbors, Jesus.
It sounds like there's construction going
It
on.
does. I was just thinking that. It's like,
America.
it sounds like you got
I
drummers
wish
outside.
it was fucking construction.
The wall.
Like,
Oh yeah.
I swear to God, it's like once a year for 1.5 months, the entire Bay Area just channels their redneck. Like, let's blow it up!
I mean, I have a
don't-
little bit of redneck in me. So,
I don't care how liberal you think California is. Around the 4th of July, everyone gets a little red.
I think that's
Starting on
everybody in the
June
U.S.
1st, yeah.
I think
It's been
that's
going
the
on
whole
for a
U.S. in general. I mean,
Like I
fireworks
said-
were illegal in Iowa when I grew up, but
Like
all
I
of the
said,
cops were like, "It's the 4th."
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So, anyway, the writing is just fine. It's not perfect, but in the meantime, it's well written. It's
Yeah.
easy to read. You communicate the details extremely well for the things that you were looking for and the considerations that you had, because that natural 20, I don't do critical success on skill checks, but I will say that with a 24 on an intelligence check, you know exactly that Vati will get the message, understand it easily, and be able to build off of these ideas and possibly communicate back to you.
Yeah.
Your best bet is probably to either leave it with the Getty Ziaz or send it. The Storm Chasers also have a rookery, so I don't know which one you would want to use, but
I'd probably just send it with the Getty ZS for now, just
All
because they're available and close.
all right. And then another question before we depart. Would you guys be flying the Getty Ziaz colors?
I believe they installed it for us, didn't they?
They did.
No, they just gave it to us so that we could string it up, yeah.
Yeah.
No, they actually asked.
No, they asked you guys if you wanted
Yeah.
it, and it is
Oh.
flying. If you guys ever choose to like, hey, we don't want to show those colors right now, I need you to tell me, okay? Because we're gonna assume that you are flying Getty Ziaz colors, which does have some perks, but
Yeah, I'm sure it has some downsides every now and then.
right, every now and then.
I'll bet we're really appetizing to pirates.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, we'll keep them up for now, and
As
pull
long
them
as we're in
down.
harbor, I think we'll keep them.
Yeah.
up.
As long as
Yeah,
we're on
no,
Steel
but-
Tranquility.
But just a review before we depart. All right. Was there anything else from anyone else? Garret got some ice cream. Jyotis sent a letter.
Oh my gosh, and Gary got ice cream. It's so unfair.
I'll bring one back for Lolly.
Yay!
Yeah.
Mostly it's a distraction and a way to calm her down.
Uh-huh.
I want to go to
All right.
Summer Bella. Let's go.
Good thinking.
Lestrin,
Now we'll
anything
have
else from you?
sugar.
Nope, ready to go. Got my new boots.
All right. Latham?
That's a roll.
All right. So, with that, the boat
Wait, I want my
begins
teddy
to
bear. I'm teasing. Let's go.
Uh-huh. With that, the
You
boat
already went potty. What do you want?
To go potty.
We're turning this boat around right now.
I know, right? Jesus Christ.
I mean, go
Uh,
before we leave port,
so,
because after that,
At
it's hanging over the edge.
at 1.5 bells, the boat departs from the dock. You guys cast off. Jyotis, you are at the helm. 2 people can act as part-time crew navigators. That is considered light duty. Jyotis at the helm is considered a full-duty job. It is something that you can do up to 10 hours before you need to roll a con save or trade off to someone else. Okay?
Yep. And I would imagine I'd be trading off to Garret. Unless anybody else wants to drive the boat.
No, I'm still learning how to helm a boat, but
Yep.
Yeah,
I'll-
I'm
I'll
probably
Well, I mean-
learning from
watch.
Echo.
I mean, I'd
I'll
be
still-
trading off to you, but I'd be standing there helping you, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he can
Yeah.
That was a
he
great time
can
to learn.
talk to you. Yeah,
Yeah,
he
I'll
can
tell
talk
you.
to you about it. But in the meantime, it's one of those things that, like, essentially the 2 assistants are on light duty, where it's occasionally like going and tying something down, whereas Jyotis is on constant navigation until he switches off to someone, and then at that point he can take a rest, sit, and tell them what to do. So, all right. When inside the Steel Tranquility, we do not need to make rolls. It is relatively safe journey,
Ooh.
and the boat will be taking off.
Yay.
Now, as you are departing, you guys see that the day looks perfectly clear. It is bright and sunny. Few clouds in the sky. The waters appear calm and consistent.
I can see clearly now the rain is gone.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
We could see all of our obstacles in a way.
So
It's going
far.
to be a bright, sunshiny day.
All
Can
right,
I learn
let's...
from Echo how to navigate? Because I still had 20 hours of community service left?
I gave you 8 hours of it, so it takes 40 hours to learn that.
Ooh.
So you have 32 hours of
go.
community
Sweet.
service left.
Sweet.
I'm going to learn from her.
Okay. Yeah, and so long as you don't get too obnoxious, she is happy to help teach you. And we will mark down the boat travels at a rate of, I believe, 3 tiles.
It was 3 knots, I think.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, 3 knots, which that gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15. 5 hours brings us into 6 o'clock. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. And 8 o'clock. Alright, so by about 9 o'clock, I believe you are about here.
Cool.
The sun sets very gently. The day is still nice and consistent. Jyotis, you are getting to that point where you're kind of knowing that you have a few more hours, but it's starting to get there.
Yep.
Now, that said,
Is that 10 hours till I need to go into forced march mode? Is that
Yes.
what that is?
that
Yeah,
is
okay.
correct. So, with the boat right there, things are relatively calm, but as we have now traveled for a little over 8 hours, I would like someone to roll me a d12. And Dan, since this is your first excursion, let's go with you. Please roll me 1 d12.
Sounds shiny.
Can I mark 8 hours off of that training?
Yes, you may.
Ooh, thank you.
We're gonna go with the blue D12 because it's on water.
Cool.
What?
Ooh.
Anything modifiers otherwise?
Nope.
All right, it's a 4.
Okay. Nothing seems to happen. It is a nice, calm day. Ocean temperatures appear relatively normal. It has started to cool off just a little bit as it is getting closer to nighttime, but it is comfortable. Winds are consistent.
Spend the better part of the day reading a book, studying up a little bit out on the bow.
All right.
Oh, yeah. We'll get there.
Oh yeah.
What will we get to?
Oh, I was just thinking, but I'm driving the boat, so I can't talk. I mean, I could mention it to Garret because I would assume he's kind of watching me drive the boat or hanging out.
Yes, I am learning.
I'm watching too.
Yeah, I can teach multiple people. It's a big captain's deck, right?
Yeah. Garret and Lestrin, you guys would be on the light duty of tying off the rigging. Otherwise, you can watch him. and I will round you down by 1 hour. So in a 10-hour period, you would get 9 hours of learning helm.
Cool.
How many did I get the last journey? That was like
I believe that was like 6 to 8. Like, I'm not sure on the exact number.
It was at least that, because we were out for a day and a half, and then it was although the second trip we were being towed. So
Yeah, the second trip you were being towed, so there was nothing to learn.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna mark it as 17 total.
Okay.
That seems fair. Oh yeah.
Oh.
I was freaking out. For
Doing
a second
other
there. I'm like,
things,
where
tying
are
shit
my
off.
Steel Tranquility notes. So,
Well,
I actually have a physical book now to keep track of this stuff because I keep losing where I put my notes on my computer.
that works
I'm
better
keeping
anyways.
them in a note.
yeah, I've been.
How
keeping
many
them in-
total hours do we have for
Uh,
driving the boat training?
9.
Uh,
At least 9.
Yeah, Lester and I gave you 9 because, again, since you guys are on light duty for fixing stuff around the ship, it's that, like, once in a while you have to go toy with something, tinker with it, move it.
Okay, how many do we need to be like relatively
40. 40 to be fully trained. Now, Jyotis, as part of his background, has an ability that neither of you will ever get, unfortunately, because just like, so Lestrin, with you, you never need to...
See fish.
No, Lestrin never has to worry about a forced march. Jyotis can land any ship so long as it's a safe area to do so. Like, he just knows how to land any ship.
If there's a safe path, I will land the boat. Every
No
time.
roll required. So, anyone else will be rolling for that, but in the meantime, he does not.
Okay.
But the difference is that, to explain, when you're outside of the Steel Tranquility, if you have full training, then you add your proficiency modifier on top of the skill check that we do. So traditionally I keep helming the ship with a dex check, but I think it would also allow for a strength check because either of those makes the most sense.
Yeah, it does.
So therefore, once the boat is out in the big blue, if you are trained in it, you get to add that +2 or +3 on top of your modifier. So adds a little bit of extra oomph to your skill checks.
Yes.
Anywho, it's time for me to switch out. I would assume. I mean, Garret, do you want to take the helm?
Yeah, I will take it.
Okay.
I'll just kind of chill and walk you through it. But while I got both you and Lestrin here, now that I'm not navigating, rather helming, excuse me, I was thinking it'd be a good idea for us to do a group project together and maybe build a shore boat or a longboat. Does that sound like a fun project to y'all?
I think fun is a generous way to put it based on what I know of it, the process.
I think it'd be fun.
We have very different ideas of what fun is, but I would be interested in the process.
I agree.
Well, it'll involve, woodworking and metallurgy, and because it's not just going to be an average boat, I've got some ideas.
Metallurgy is something I am interested in.
Yeah. I sent a letter before we left off to my my mentor Vati to see his thoughts on the ideas I have for it. But I will show you drawings when we have a chance. And I also have some ideas on how we can upgrade our rigging to this boat. We can look at those later too when we get off the deck.
Well, I mean, you never have a better chance than now. It's nice, steady sailing.
Then let's
Steady
bring
sailing
it
and
out.
it's still got some light.
It's
Oh,
not so
no,
much
no.
sailing
Don't gotta
as
do
just
much,
being
'cause it's-
guided by the tranquility.
Right.
I'm waiting to hear back from Vati on the longboat ideas and designs, but I have sketched out a few ideas on how we can upgrade our rigging to our current boat. So let me drop that. This is the boat as is. And here is a picture, a sketch that I've done. of the current rigging, side profile.
We got cool boats.
We do have a cool boat, and we were lucky. Would you care
Hence
to
the
explain?
name.
Would you care to explain how lucky we were, Garret?
Our first game in, we did a raffle, and each character like went ahead and put in some coin and got ourselves a specific ticket number that Bob wrote down and had us roll percentages. And I just happened to roll exactly what he wrote down.
We won $1 million boat.
It's not $1 million.
I know. Sorry. In modern terms, it would be like $1 million boat. Whatever that equates to in D&D. Anyway, so that's the current rigging. The right image on the rigging is the stayed mast, how it is, and then the left image is thoughts on making an unstayed mast. However, he went from that to Jyotis I went from that idea to this idea. So the top drawing is the current stayed mast, and the bottom images are what we could upgrade it to for the price of some wood and some custom sails that we'd have to have somebody make for us. But it's a fairly cheap upgrade to make, I think. And it would double our sail area, which should just about double our speed. We'll have to crunch some numbers on that.
That is impressive.
And the other advantage is, as it is now, it's a typical rig, and the boom. So if you look at the top down. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I think I have another. Here we go. If you look at the top down, so this is the bottom arrow pointing up is the wind direction, and so that's how the sails would be. And then, of course, the way the ship is pointing, that's our sail direction. We're sailing in that direction. So the boom on the back side of the boat can only move 180 degrees around, not quite 180 degrees because of the stays. So let me see if I can illustrate that quick. But anyway, so the boom can only swing 180 degrees from side to side.
Okay.
So this boom here there's like a max limit that it can swing because the mast is stayed, and it can only swing out like this. And likewise, the front boom has the same sort of limitations. So it's limiting the amount of wind we can catch. I mean, it's still a really efficient rig, which is why we can go 3 knots, and it's great. But we can upgrade it. So this is, so like that's the limits. So the bottom boom can only swing back and forth, and the top boom can only swing back and forth like that. So in the new version, the complete, hold on, the upper portion of this would theoretically be able to swing 360 degrees.
That's pretty impressive.
In the Steel Tranquility, the wind is. How is it controlled as far as which way the wind is blowing, and if we have to like spend all day doing close reaches, or is it like always somehow to the back?
It is always somehow to the back. It is a very, very convenient area. It's more just that being at the helm is constantly standing, occasionally navigating, and after about 8 to 10 hours of doing that, it starts to get a little bit tiring. So it's one of those things that you don't have to do too much. There's little bits of upkeep and maintenance around the boat, but it's nothing unnormal.
So in the bottom image here, what we're doing is we're basically beefing up the bottom portion of the mast, keeping the mast as is, and then we're building ourselves some new booms. We would keep the bottom booms, but then the left side, the left bottom, the left foresail, I should call it, is kind of like a unique rig, junk rig. So you can raise and lower that like your curtains in your house, right?
Got it.
And that's what those bars are. Those bars are rigging, like solid rigging that allows that sail to lower and raise like a blind, because we're going to stay the mast, but it's only going to be stayed to the mid-level. The upper level is going to be unstayed. So that's why I drew the side netting that would go halfway up to the mast, and then there'd be like a little platform, and the top booms could rotate 360 degrees. So we could raise that front sail up, get it out of the way of the ropes, and rotate this thing all whichever way we want. We would never really need to go at 360 degrees, but basically we could make this thing super efficient. And then the backside would basically be the large boom. So basically, yeah, we'd be able to move this thing more than we can now, and catch as much wind as possible. And it's fairly inexpensive way to upgrade the boat, because we don't have to do anything to the hull. All we got to do is, a little bit of reworking on the mast and get some new sails.
We shall have to investigate the cost of this.
Yeah, we'll have to do some cost estimates, but I would imagine it'd be fairly cheap compared to like upgrading hulls and doing anything like that. It's a fairly easy way to get some more speed.
Well, we got the speed we have now, so let's press on.
Mm-hmm.
Would it add stress to the hull?
Not this design. I ran some numbers and it should not. I tried to max out the hull with this sail design.
I understand. Well, I must admit it's a bit beyond me, but I imagine we could figure it out. It's just not my area of expertise.
I've been doing this for a long time.
I
Although
can see that.
on land, above ground or above the surface, I've been doing it, less than below the surface. But whatever. This is how I was able to get out of the Dajani quicker than most. I helped them upgrade their boats.
I see. Well, if you are willing, we can continue to see what upgrades we can do to this beast.
I'm fully willing if you're willing to let me play around with it.
Just don't break anything.
Not intentionally.
You break it, you buy it.
Sure.
For the
No,
same
I
cost,
want-
Gary got it.
Oh, you replace what you break.
Oh, yes. No, this is going to be a group effort, though. This. I mean, I can do the designs, but it's going to be a group effort.
I
Especially,
can't imagine a single person doing doing all of these.
yep. But also with the longboat, I think it'll be a good team building exercise. Building a shore boat. Plus, it'd be nice to have just a small boat. Like we all jumped and commandeered the boat to get to the lighthouse, and if we just had our own that we could park on the back of this thing for, say, or there's no dock and we need to get to shore.
Yes, one less thing to worry about.
Our boat is designed to be.
It is. But say there's rocks and there's no beach to land on, so we'd have to, I don't know. It's a good idea to have a shore boat.
Where would we put it?
I was thinking we could rig something either on the aft, so it would hang on the aft stay mast, that sort of crane looking thing at the back of the boat, or we could rig something so that it would be part of the dive deck, 'cause the dive deck's pretty good sized actually.
And we shall see what works best.
Yep, we'll have to play around with it. And ultimately, it'll depend on how big of a longboat we decide to build. I'm thinking it should be a 10-person boat, maybe? Just to accommodate 5 of us, and then if we have any passengers or other people that need to come along.
I will leave the numbers to you.
Sure.
We'll figure it out.
Do you happen to know any rope builders or sail people in back home?
I do know a rope maker. She provided us with the 600 feet of silk rope over here. Her name is Maori.
Oh, most impressive. This looks like good quality rope. I wonder if she'd be willing to make sails.
She did the fishing line as well, and the nets.
The net making, 2 separate sessions. I'm sure the Johnny have a preferred sailman.
I'm sure we could check around. Not aware of any at this port, but I'm sure they exist. Well, so shall we check into that when we get back, perhaps?
It's something that we should definitely read into. Find out. It's probably an investment of time and money, so we will have to plan very well.
Indeed. Well, that's the nice thing about the rigging. Rigging can be, because we can construct most of it we can construct while keeping the current rigging in place, and then it's just a matter of moving some booms and ropes around. So it can be changed fairly quickly, probably only a few days.
That's useful.
That's partly why I was trying to design just the rigging for the next phase, because the upgrades, I have some other upgrades that will require much more work, but this would be a significant boost for some easy labor. Relatively easy.
We shall have to done it.
Yeah. Thanks for letting me play around.
Well, it seems I would benefit just as much as you.
Yeah.
Anything to keep this completely seaworthy.
Oh yeah.
I foresee a lot of use coming up for this craft.
Well, I do too, but that's part of the reason I want to upgrade the rigging, is because this boat seems like it was designed for the Steel Tranquility use. It seems like it was a luxury cruiser and it wasn't really meant to go into open ocean much outside of the Steel Tranquility. So I'm thinking with this upgraded sail, we could be much more efficient outside of the Steel Tranquility.
That does make sense. We, as a group, don't seem to always stick to the safest course.
Indeed. I thought of this on our way to the Stockholm. We left the Steel Tranquility after like 3 miles, I think, or something. It was that first lighthouse or something crazy.
Yeah, actually, it was. Yeah, it was like right about where Gary is was where you left it to start doing a direct course, and yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 2, 4. 1, 2.
Well, I'll keep drafting, and hopefully I'll have a response from Valti possibly when I get back, and we'll learn more then.
Every little bit helps, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So, as your navigator over these next 10 to 11 hours, Echo points that essentially, as far as she can tabulate, this is probably about the safest spot, the green dot over here, to come out and directly only be in the ocean as short as possible. Because, yeah, having experienced what you guys went through with every hour finding new things.
And it seemed like progressively getting crazier and crazier.
Well, you kept rolling better and better.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, that seems legit. We're headed straight to Raja for now, correct?
Yes. Yeah, that is correct.
Most direct. Well, the best time. The course with the best time.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So,
Yoink.
time flows. And again, another shift goes by. Do you guys choose to sleep in shifts? Because this is now nighttime into morning.
I would imagine so we can spread out the workload.
Okay.
Yeah,
So-
keep moving. There's no point in like anchoring for a few hours of sleep.
Right, no, because essentially the ship just continues on nice and steady. While Garret and Jyotis sleep, Lestrin can get a turn at the helm.
Cool.
Lolly, you will need to take a long rest at some point also, which means that you will probably get another couple hours of Navigator, but
Yeah.
Also, I forgot to add, Lestrin, the longboat that I want to build, we might never have to row it. Like, if my idea works, we won't have to row it ever.
Well, that's fine.
I thought you'd like that.
I can't row. My arms are too short. I can't keep up with you tall people.
Well, we would only have to...
Minotaur.
Poppy's voice.
What's that?
I'm
I just
strong
heard
enough,
Poppy's
boy.
voice.
we would only have to row it if it breaks down. If you get my drift.
Then we're gonna have to do a good job
Yep.
building it.
And that's why it's gonna require some metallurgy, and that's why I sent a letter to my area of expertise is in boat design and flow, how liquids flow, and my
Fluid
mentor
dynamics.
fluid dynamics. Indeed, you've heard the term.
I read some books during my education.
Ah,
When you live on an island, it's part of.
I suppose so. That makes sense. But
And family business being what it is, I do
ah,
tend to look into how things work.
well, my mentor Vati is he's more mechanically and metallurgically inclined than I am, so hopefully he'll understand what I'm getting at.
I'm very much interested in learning how to manipulate metals. Crafting blades and armor seems something I would very much like to learn.
Well, I have an idea for upgrading the hull of this ship, but that I think we should upgrade the rigging first, and depending on how that goes, we can go further.
Yeah, baby steps is the way to go.
Yep. The real test will be that's why I want to build the longboat too. Is because if our metallurgy skills, if we could build the longboat and that's successful, then I think we could think more about upgrading the Lucky 87.
Aye. On that note, I'm going to get some rest.
Sounds like a good idea.
so
Until morning.
Lestrin, when you are technically on watch, you can get 6 hours of helmsman training down, because Gary has to sleep and Jyotis is still recovering from his joyous
Term of
Mhm.
day of
service.
sail. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So we've
So you've got a total of
I've
about 15 hours now.
15? Okay,
Yeah.
good. Just want to be sure.
So, morning comes. The night is uneventful. Latham, you dream of court briefs just infinite paperwork piling up in front of you, and every time you fill one out and get your evidence just right, there just appears to be more on the stacks. It's just eternal paperwork. But it's at least less chaotic than your first dream.
Sounds at least fluid, kind of, but relaxing in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we are going to take the boat out onto the ocean now.
Yay.
So,
Ooh, as soon as we do, can I try doing that shape water trick again? I'm gonna make some majestic sea flaps and try and get them to push.
So, with this size of boat, you can try.
Oh, it won't go fast. Yeah.
Lolly,
It doesn't
I'm
have
gonna-
a wind force.
So,
Yeah.
well, not only that, the boat moves at 3 knots, which is roughly 30 feet per D&D turn, 30 feet per 6 seconds, I believe. I believe the shape water only moves 5 feet. So,
If I'm changing the flow, but I can create a 5x5 cube, 5x5x5, and direct it, animate it in a direction I want.
right, but the animation.
It doesn't say anything about it.
Of course, this is DM here.
Yeah.
So I don't
How
wanna
much force
dep-
does like 5 feet of water crashing forward
So
cause?
so that was the other thing. So our boat weighs, Bob, I'll get you numbers on this, but Garret and I calculated that our boat probably weighs about, I believe it was 30 ton, and
That's
your
fine,
shape
even if
water.
it's not doing anything. She would still do it to try and like force us
know.
faster down there.
I know.
I
This
know
is
it's
why I'm
probably worthless, but she doesn't. She's trying it.
I know. I'm trying to explain this in character as best I can because I'm like I understand what Lily's going for here, and so
Faster.
Lolly, our boat weighs about 30 ton, and your shaped water object, your majestic, beautiful, majestic sea flap,
Yes.
weighs
and they
about-
skim over the surface of the waves and crash against the back of the boat. And you just get a little thump every time.
It weighs
But
about
no,
8
no movement forward.
weighs about 8 tons, so it's going to be a little bit of a thump, and we'll kind of feel this clunk.
Yeah, you feel the clunk.
But here's a better idea, and Jyotis sketches.
What? Thunk. What are you talking about? Thunk.
Yep. Wait, Lolly. Here's an idea. You can shape water, animate it, and freeze it. Right? You can freeze the water and then have it be in a shape, animated, moving in a shape.
I
Right?
don't think it. No, it doesn't move. I try it on one of them, and the majestic sea flap thunks against the boat and just shatters.
It doesn't stay frozen.
It
Well, it stays
unfreezes in 1
frozen.
hour, but now it's shattered ice.
Yeah.
Right. I
And you
understand.
don't
So
want
you're
me smashing against the back of the boat.
right. So here's an idea, and he sketches out a water wheel, a 5-foot water wheel.
Ooh. Smart. Like those old-fashioned steamers? Yeah.
Like those old-fashioned steamers. He's like, if you can freeze this and attach it to the back of the boat and animate it,
Yes.
that might give us a boost in speed. I don't know how much. That's
DM's
DM
rolling, is that
territory.
okay?
I will
Good call, Jyotis.
allow with 2 of them on the back of the boat for you to increase it to a 4-knot speed.
Yay!
Spin.
Hercules,
It's not
Hercules.
as fun as Majestic Sea Flaps, but this is
But-
faster. Thank you.
It's efficient. Yay! Also, that's a neat skill, Ollie. We're gonna have to put that to use later.
Yes.
You would you mind helping me? With that skill, we're gonna have to study shapes for moving objects. Would you
Sure.
mind?
And I
later
start doing
on?
the somatic component of just like wave. It looks oddly like the wave that people do at the stadiums. Whoa! You gotta do it after I do it. Whoa! Okay, now everybody on the boat do it. Whoa!
Whoa! Okay, great. No, so Jyotis sketches like a propeller for you. Lolly. And he's like,
Yes.
we're going to need to make lots of different versions of these.
Okay, but I'm not very good at that mechanically. I'm just gonna do this big old one on the back, going flop flop flop.
That's fine. I'll help you. I'll sketch it, and then hopefully you can shape it or manipulate it.
Okay, it's about to be Queen Elsa up in this bitch.
Yep.
Let it go.
Into the unknown. Anyway.
So, now
have a
that we are
daughter.
outside of the Steel Tranquility, I would like a D12 roll per 4 of those little gradients that you come across.
Okay.
So you guys have about, let's see, 2, 4, 1, 2.
It's not daytime and I'm helming again, correct?
It is now daytime, it is early morning, and you are helming again.
Cool.
Keep firing, assholes.
So, with your added speed, you guys probably could make it in about 6 hours, maybe. It's looking like good time. So,
I think I will
for today's roster,
every hour and check on this thing.
yeah, every hour you have to run back there really quick and be like, ding, ding. And
Yep.
in 12 seconds, you have it back up.
New water wheel.
Yeah. So, with that, Jyotis, if you are back at the helm, I would like you to roll a d12.
Rolling a d12. Yes, sir.
Who's on light duty?
I am.
Okay.
The d12 is a 3.
All right. Gary, for light duty, go ahead and roll me 1d6, please.
Like a D6. 4.
Okay. With the 4, the temperature changes ever so slightly. You notice that it's getting a little bit hotter. Just a 5-degree change, though. Nothing major.
Is that Celsius or Fahrenheit?
Fahrenheit, because we live in America.
America. Anyway.
All right. Having gone there, Jyotis, next roll on the d12, please.
D12. 7.
All right. Gary,
Hi.
please roll me a d4.
There it is. Oh, there it is. 3.
Okay. Interesting. All right. Gary, and if anyone else is helping on light duty, I will accept 1 perception check from each of you.
I think between
Okay.
the wheel and echo, I would be a little preoccupied.
Yeah, you're a little
16.
busy. Okay. Lestrin, with the 16, you appear to notice an odd rain cloud in the distance. And it's not gigantic. In fact, it's relatively tiny for a normal rain cloud, and it's low. It's only about 100 feet off the ocean water, and it's consistently raining. Granted, if it were a creature, it would be a gargantuan creature, but it's just this little pile of rain.
My roll was a 17, by the way.
Well, you see the exact same thing. And as the boat continues to go along, it just gets a little closer and closer. You see it when it's about 300 feet out, and it... Did it change directions? Is it following the boat?
No, it's not. That's fine.
And it starts to speed up.
We'll tell it to stop.
In one round, it goes from just matching the boat speed into starting to gain. You have 2 rounds until that cloud is within 60 feet of the boat. It is closing down and is now only 50 feet up above, and it's still raining, but it's closing.
Things are strange.
But hey, since we're on what could be a battle, want to go to the battle map? Let's see if we mess this up.
Ooh, battle map.
Maybe it's a social encounter, guys. We don't know.
Encounter with nature.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what happened the last time I tried to roll a social encounter.
Mm-hmm. we did turn it back into one, though. Sort of.
Kind of. Oh, hello.
Ooh.
Last round, put your drink in the sea.
It's our boat.
It's
It's
on
our
the
boat.
boat.
Ooh, and there's already a fish there. Sweet.
Ray. Root. Routini. So where's the helm?
So technically, the helm should be above the cabin.
And I'm ladder.
I'm probably here with Echo.
This is where the helm would be, but above the cabin. Like,
Hey, I see the helm.
yep.
Yeah. I just say it now. So what are we gonna do about this?
I mean, I could shoot it.
Best not to try that until we know that it's actually dangerous
Wait,
or hostile.
could it be Gungar?
Oh no.
That thing is larger than he ever was.
I know, but Latham and I found out that he was cursed.
Yeah.
So the poor thing could be being followed by a rain cloud,
It sounds like a terrible children's story.
right?
That makes sense.
Is it a bear tied to a balloon, trying to get honey out of a tree?
That one could also. Yes, all of these are checking out.
Latham is sunning himself. It's beautiful.
Yep. What time of day is it?
It's probably mid-morning at this point.
Perfect.
Yep.
Unless I'm needed on duty somewhere, and even then, we'll probably
I
talk.
mean,
Otherwise, I'm just gonna hang out in the front and read my book.
that's it. I was gonna say that's a beautiful spot to read a book. Anyway,
I'm just
So-
gonna casually cast Mage Armor on myself.
I'm not gonna cast anything yet until we know what that cloud is.
Unfortunately, mage armor lasts for goddamn ever, so...
How? Yeah. How far is it out, Bob? 300 feet?
I do not hear him.
I don't either.
Did we lose a Bob?
I think we lost a Bob.
All right.
How dare we?
Oh no.
Cool. So we got past the counter and we've landed ashore now, right?
Yes, and we're safe.
Cool.
And
We're-
Molly
we're
greets us,
discussing
and
the Brit.
everything is good.
Hello?
There!
Hey,
Bob!
Hey, you missed the part where we like totally got past that weird ass cloud. Now we're landed.
Oh, really? That's funny. That's so funny.
It was hilarious. It told us a bunch of great jokes.
So,
So it was about 300 feet out, right, Bob?
no, it's about 150 now. It's closing rapidly on the boat.
It's coming up from behind us, closing rapidly. Holy hell!
Yep.
Okay, we're going 4 knots and it's moving fast. All right. Can I make a perception check on it?
Sure.
Or am I going to see anything different?
Probably not. I mean, you can roll and see what happens.
I'm rolling.
But a 17 got a rain cloud.
Yep, that's perception. I got a 21.
Okay. Well, you look, and it's fluffy. It's
Fluffy
weird.
rain cloud.
You can't see anyone inside of it or like there's any shape. There doesn't appear to be any lightning based off of it, but it is certainly closing quickly, and it's just raining. And you stare at the droplets of the water really quick just to get that suspicion, like, is it acid rain? Like, and it doesn't appear to be interacting with the water in any way that shows a difference in pH balance. So it's closing quickly, but it genuinely appears and smells like a rain cloud.
Interesting.
So it's a storm of some kind? It's kind of...
This is
Lester,
not-
you're super
this
smart
might-
at storms. What is it?
What?
What is it?
What is it?
Did Sam fall asleep?
Wait, what?
Lester, you're super
Everybody's
smart
by
at storms. What is it?
a
Should I
microburst.
roll a perception?
Actually, roll me, Lester, and let's come to your character sheet really quick, because you already perceived it. Roll me either a nature. Yeah, let's go with nature.
Oh, religion check.
16.
Okay, that's decent. So you have that moment where you try to reach and synergize with it, and you do feel like it's part of the storm. So when you do that little outreach, you have that moment where you just kind of focus your eyes on it and stare into it, almost like you're trying to zap it. And sure enough, you get the connection. It is part of the face storms, but it's been separated.
Ooh.
And with that, let's go ahead and roll initiative, because it's within 60 feet of the boat now.
Damn it.
I was about to ask. Is it acting in any way hostile? But no, initiative says otherwise.
9.
I got a 20 on the die.
Oh. Too bad it's a niche.
Yeah.
Just
I
keep
got
rolling that 20.
16. Yeah, right? Just keep
I
rolling.
will roll caution over and over again,
All right, so we're going
and I'll see how many ones I can get.
Garret, the farm, Jyotis, Lolly, Lesterin, and then let's roll. Oh yeah, it's last. Okay. All right. So with that, it is now within 60 feet, looming. It has grown down to be just 25 feet over the ship. It is raining harder than before. Garret, is there anything you would like to do on your round?
No. There's not really much I can do except throw a firebolt at it, and I really don't know if that's going to help my case.
I'm kind of on the same page.
Would you like to ready any actions or anything?
I'm going to get my crossbow out, and I will lock, load, and prepare an attack action at the first sign of hostility.
Okay, perfect. All right. Latham, your turn.
It's moving in on us, huh?
Yeah, it's moving quick.
Okay. Slightly irritated that he's not able to continue reading his book and has ruined his day. He laughs about a string. He says, have you no decency on a fine summer day as this? And continues to just rant and rave, and from him unleashes some vicious mockery.
Okay.
So that's going to be a whiz saving of 14.
Tell me something. Does vicious mockery require intelligence?
Require intelligence? Let me read through
Let me
it again.
see.
Well, it does psychic damage. Must succeed a wisdom saving throw. Or take,
Oh, no, it does not have to understand you. Can hear you, does not need to understand you. Okay,
Oh, gotcha.
so it fails. Go ahead and roll damage.
Awesome.
Wheel. That's a straight 3, it looks like. So 3 psychic damage.
Okay.
Disadvantage on the next attack.
All right, very good. Okay, good round. Jyotis, it is your round.
Let me see. Where is my spell? Can I cast Sanctuary on the boat again?
Yes, you may. It will work as it did last time.
I'm going to cast Sanctuary on the boat.
All right. Your bluish silvery light envelopes the boat really quickly. Starts off and pulses out around it, wraps it in that comfort. And the boat appears to continue going along. Next, Lolly.
Okay. Do I see... How far out is it?
60 feet.
60 feet. Do I see if there's a creature in it? Or...
You would know that based off of 3 reports, one of them being with a 21 perception, that no one can see a creature inside it.
Okay, so it's literally just a rainstorm. Ooh.
So far as we know.
Salted rainstorm.
And when Lesterin tried to do a natural connection to it to figure it out, it was part of the Fey storm, the storm that had been there the night before.
Yeah, I heard that part. But I don't see anything in it. I don't...
No majestic flap flap.
I am going to point over the side of the ship about 30 feet off of port and have a distal rumble sound of thunder come from there to see if it responds to it at all. So, thaumaturgy.
Okay. Yeah, so you make a... And it does
Storm.
seem to spread out towards that.
Tricky.
Maybe it's just trying to find its family.
Maybe.
It spreads out towards that way, almost like it reaches out with a tendril looking for it. And when it doesn't seem to find anything, it doesn't retract quite yet, but it did actually spread itself. And you do notice the rain is not quite as hard after it spread itself out like this.
I think it's trying to find its family. Do we
Lesterin.
remember which direction that... Oh, I'm sorry. Do we remember which direction the storm was coming across? Was it going east to west?
It was going west to east.
Not this one, but the other one? The lighthouse storm? So it was
Yes.
going west to east? Oh, okay, cool.
Yes.
Well, then I am going to keep... Yeah. Okay. Go ahead, Lester.
Okay.
It's my turn.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to move here,
Okay.
and so I'm gonna shout out to the cloud that we're not here to harm you. You're the rest of the storm. I'm gonna gesture the direction that the storm went, and I'm not going to put my axe away, but I'm going to set it on the deck.
Okay.
Still ready, but I'm not,
Yeah.
threatening it. I'm not
Go ahead and
threatening it.
roll me a persuasion check.
Georgia. 18.
All right. The storm cloud does not appear moved by your words, but it does not seem to regard you as a threat either, as best you can tell. It's weird. You're the one person on this ship who can have some semblance of a connection with these things, and you get the feeling it won't hurt you. That's the one feeling you get. It's round. So, after reaching out and feeling for that as a reaction, it spends its turn going up this way, and actually takes up this space right here. Oh crap! I can't do a here. Undo. 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 All right. So it actually heads up towards this way, and it's currently taking up the space up there.
Fine, I'll take you out.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. So it appears after it gets over that spot to have one discharge of lightning into the water where it heard the thunder in an attempt to connect to something.
Oh, I think Lolly's right.
And then after that, after doing that strike, it goes back towards following the boat. It's here right now for its turn. Top of the round, Garret. Your held action did not trigger, unfortunately, but you have a new round. Would you like to do anything different?
I would say that that's fortunately. No, actually, I'm going to basically repeat the same thing.
Okay.
I'm not going to attack unless it makes a move to actually harm us.
Okay.
I don't want to draw any ire, and I have no idea if what my weapon is going to do anything, but I really don't want to provoke it.
All right. So, Latham, your round.
I'm gonna hold my action unless it makes some sort of attack on lightning or otherwise attack on any myself.
Okay.
At which point, I will use. Yeah, I'm gonna hold off my turn for the moment and see where.
Okay. Well, you can hold an action, but you can't hold the entire turn. So you can hold like.
I hold the action. Yeah.
So typically speaking, it's better to hold like a cantrip. That way, if something bad happens, you use something at least. But in the meantime, if you use a slotted spell, typically speaking, those fire off if that's your held action. So
I'm gonna hold off on a vicious mockery as well since it's been a full turn and.
Okay.
The disadvantage it has going to the next turn, so we'll hold off with vicious mockery until it does something aggressive.
All right. Okay, Jyotis.
I would like to follow Garret, and I want to hold Firebolt in case it like tries to move for the boat and attack us, but I don't want to outright attack it.
Okay, so you're waiting until it attacks the boat, not until it's over the boat. Is that my correct reading in this?
Yeah. I don't want to attack it. Like I'm with Garret. I don't want to provoke it or attack it unless it actually tries to damage the boat.
Copy that. Lolly.
Yes. Okay. I'm gonna lean over and just kind of flag it down and like, hey, there was a storm a few days ago and it went it went east. And then I cast another thaumaturgy in east.
Okay. Roll a persuasion.
Okay. Oh, pretty good. 19 total. I speak storm.
So you wave your arms about. You think you've done good. You cast off the thunder again. But this time it doesn't seem to go for it.
Oh. Do I get any semblance that it kind of understood me? Like I'm trying to be helpful?
It doesn't appear to be aggressive. It's like it just wants to catch up to the ship. It did genuinely feel out for that thunder signal the first time,
Yeah,
but this time it's like it detected that it wasn't what it thought it was. But you at don't think you're a threat to the storm.
Okay.
This reminds this reminds me of the TNG episode Space Baby. Anyway.
Lesterin, you're round.
I'm going to stay where I am, and I'm going to try to persuade the storm to try to catch up to the storm that went by again.
All right, go ahead and roll a persuasion check.
It's a total of 22. 20 on
Damn,
the
that
dice.
is a good persuasion check. You say anything specifically towards it?
Yeah, don't hit me with lightning again.
Pretty
The other
please.
storm went that way. Very largely in the direction the storm went. Went that way. You're obviously trying to catch up. And might wait for you, but we can't help you.
All right.
Ooh, Bob just went robotic.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes. And then silent.
And silent. Can y'all
The
hear me?
sound of silence.
Yeah.
We lost him. He died.
With a 22 persuasion, you get the sense and semblance like it might actually be listening to you. And sure enough, on its round, it chooses to go east. But before it does, Lesterin, Lolly, go ahead and make me a dexterity roll. Not a saving throw, a roll.
Okay. Plus 0 is 10.
19.
Lesterin, what was yours?
19.
Lestran's is way better than mine.
Lolly, you get this faint glimmer, like something of the cloud reached out towards you, and it's almost like there's a magic in the air, and you reach out your hand, but it just kind of flows through.
Huh.
Lestrin, you get the same sense and semblance, like that little storm cloud reached out to you as well. And as the wind flows through you, you actually spread your hands and ground your feet just a little bit, like preparing, because last time you reached out to a storm, you sure as hell got lightning struck. And this time it doesn't occur, but instead, you get this little element of wind in you. Like it just catches you for a moment, and you feel this odd sense and semblance of power. Where, in essence, let me look up the exact words of the effect, that way I can share it with you. This is a one-time thing you'll get to use.
Woo.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah.
We hear you.
Lester or
Hello?
Hello.
Huh?
Hey, Bob.
Okay, sorry. Okay. So, you can one time cast this spell. Give me 1 second. So you gain this ability. I'm going to post this in main chat. You have a one-time use of Gust of Wind.
Woohoo.
Awesome.
The DC for the save is 13.
Okay.
How
Cool.
dexterous is a cloud?
Not incredibly. And with that, we're going to actually rotate back to our other map, because you have ended that encounter without combat. Good job, guys.
Hooray! Hey, Bob, just so you know,
Hmm?
I was zoomed out,
Mm-hmm.
so I can see the whole thing, and I can see some of the other stuff you have on the side.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I was
fine.
about to keep
No,
hearing
Just
that.
making
it's
Those
not.
three.
That's fine. Yeah, you can see that.
I wasn't sure if we weren't supposed to see that. I was like,
I couldn't figure out how to hide them. I think it's through triggers, but I haven't learned fully how to utilize those yet. So, admittedly, yeah, sorry.
It's all good. I did
Any
see them too.
chance we can take a short break? So
Yes, I was actually going to recommend it because we're probably going to end tonight's game when we get to Raisha. Let's take a little 10-minute break. I'll see everyone back at 11 or just shortly after at 11:01. All right?
Okay.
I'm still trying to figure out how to.
The boat is currently just outside the A, so we're going to go ahead and add that right there. Oh, Garret is on the map.
I'm moving.
So,
I
sorry.
was trying to move it for you.
I was like, let me brush. Okay. All right. We are right there. So, Jyotis, I would love another roll of that D12, please.
D12 coming up. 2.
All right. Lolly, you haven't gotten to roll so far. Would you go ahead and roll me a D4?
Sure. Vanilla or extra spicy? 3.
Okay.
I'm eating jambalaya, so extra spicy.
So,
Original
one of
recipe.
the fishing lines that has been set up on the boat snags, as in it appears to have caught something. If anyone would like to reel it in, you may attempt to make a strength check.
I'll do it.
Yes,
All
please,
right.
you do that.
Perfect.
22.
Yeah! You reel it in, and sure enough, you get a big old marlin. Comes on out.
Dinner.
You have about a 35-pound fish that you just caught.
Nice.
A marlin? Aren't they?
They're like
They-
huge.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Never mind. I'm sorry. 60-pound. There we go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a little better. But yeah.
Yeah, so you have caught a good-size marlin. And with that, the boat continues. Jyotis, next roll, please.
Rolling D12. 4.
Rolling.
Okay. All right. Well, it's been a while for Lestrin to roll on a boat check, so Lestrin will give it to you this hour. Go ahead and roll me a d6, please.
Okay. Decent. Roll.
Fire.
6.
A 6?
Yes.
All right. The temperature, interestingly enough, has this big bursting change where it gets hot quick with the start of the day. It increases to the point where I would like a Constitution saving throw from everyone, because today is now going to be a hot day. Aside from Latharn, as you have heat resistance.
I see.
That's a good question there.
17.
Yeah. Sorry. Did you say con save?
Con.
Con save?
Yeah, con save, please.
Wait.
23.
Is that right?
Oh, sorry. It should be about 120 pounds. I apologize.
A marlin? That's like a baby marlin.
That would be a baby if it's a marlin, that's for sure.
No, sorry. Indo-Pacific are 120 pounds. Atlantic are 210. So this is an Indo-Pacific marlin at 120 pounds.
Wait a minute.
Okay. And
Oh,
The other ocean ship, the one you don't live near.
Yeah, no, I know. Well, because I have friends that go deep sea fishing, and they literally named their kid Marlin.
Yeah, no, there are much larger varieties of marlin.
And they're like 1,800 pounds, so so that's the only reason I was like, wait, 60-pound doesn't compute.
No,
That's
60
okay.
Yes.
It's okay.
Lolly,
This is
can I
also
get
not
a con
Earth, so
save
you know
from
what? So what?
What?
And I get a con save from you, Lolly, please.
Yes. I rolled a 15 and I have +3, so 18.
All right. No one is getting a point of exhaustion then, as even though it is hot out, all of you are doing your best. All right.
We're
So,
standing
with
in the
that-
shade of the sail.
With that, we come to next hour. Jyotis, go ahead and roll.
D12. 3.
All right. Latham and Garret, I would like one of you to roll a d6. Latham to roll a d6. Garret, roll a d4.
All of us. So you want all of us to, or is that and an or?
That's an and. So Latham,
Okay.
roll a d6. Garret, roll a d4.
1 on the 4.
6 on the 6.
Wow.
All right. So, I would like a perception check from someone on the crew.
I'm on it.
All
Unless
right.
somebody has much better wisdom than me, which is very likely because mine sucks.
I can do wisdom rolls. What am I rolling for?
Perception.
Perception.
You go ahead and, if I can assist, can I give her advantage on that?
How would you assist?
Ask her to look off in that direction, and I'll look off in this direction.
Okay, I'll accept it this
I
once.
rolled better the first time, so 18 total.
All right. You see about a half mile off that there are some birds. And Lolly, you kind of focus on it for a second, and then you realize the birds have bodies.
Oh no. Snappy, tentacly, grab Lolly and break her neck bodies.
No, they just look really humanoid. And they're flying over what looks like a small rock formation.
Mm-hmm.
They do not see the boat, though. You guys got lucky this hour.
Ew.
Damn. I'll get you.
How
This is
dare
damn-
you?
Next time, Gadget.
So mean.
All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, we got 2 more of these to do, guys. Go ahead, Jyotis, one more time.
D12. 2.
Okay. Let's go. Garret, I haven't asked you very much. Roll me a d4, please.
Another one. Okay.
Another.
That's another 1.
Okay. The weather starts to finally subside a little, and it is no longer as stunningly hot.
Woo.
It's not the heat, it's the humidity.
Uh-huh.
All right. Last hour. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just outside the docks of Raisha, you can start to see that there appears to be some swamp and delta land in the distance. As you guys are sailing along during this hour, Echo points it out and just says, you don't want to try to dock a boat in that area or even go along the coastline. Tends to be a lot of gators that are very territorial, in addition to some oddly large crabs.
Giant gators?
We hope not.
Okay.
Normally a gator's big enough, but if it gets giant, it's really hard to take, so let's not.
Yeah, well, just had to
One last roll, that d12, please, sir.
roll in 11.
Oh. Well,
I know what that means, I think. If it means the same as last time.
Thanks.
Garret, Lestrin, 1d6, Garret, 1d4, please.
4 on the D6.
4 on a D4.
Okay. Well, that's perfect. Let's come on over to another map, then.
Okay, guys. Almost. We
Good.
almost made it. Boop.
Ivy the wind.
Oh no, Bob, why did you do that? You silly buffoon.
That word is so underused.
Buffoon.
Buffoon.
I'm been fond of nincompoop.
Yeah,
I teach that to all of my students because
it's a great
such
word too.
ridiculous word.
It's a great word.
Good one.
Nincompoop. I'm also fond of the way.
Chance to roll a perception check.
Who?
Lestrin and Latharm, the elves, they can roll perception checks.
22.
Working with perception. Raising performance. 12.
All right. So, Latharm, with your 12, you notice the smell coming from the delta water mixing with the salt water, and it is not to your taste. That just kind of distracts you for a moment. Whereas Lestrin, you look off to the other side, and you notice that there are shark fins in the water. And they are
Ooh.
We
Breaking
lost
up
you, Bob.
quickly from the front
Hey, sweetie.
this time. No,
No. Go back. Where are the sharks coming from?
Rewind.
Can you guys still hear me?
We don't get to learn where the sharks are coming. They're just gonna eat us.
The sharks.
Oh, the sharks. I didn't hear that part.
There were sharks. I heard that part, and we heard that Lolly saw it. Question is, where?
Lolly, 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 lollipop.
whoa.
Bum, bum, bum.
Boom.
Can anyone hear me now?
I can hear you.
Yes, I hear you now.
Sorry.
You went robot again, but I
Right.
hear you.
My headphones keep cutting off, and it's really aggravating. Did I go robot for anyone else?
For a little bit.
Not,
Hear you now.
not with that statement.
Oh, I guess I'm looking out the.
If he's talking again now, we have issues. Dope.
Oh gosh. 1, 2, 3. 5 baddies.
Ah, there's the other one. That's what I wanted.
Rolled the exact combination, didn't we?
We did.
So,
Who sees them and why?
well, Lestrin is the one who sees them. Because Latharm got busy with the smell and didn't notice that there is a bird person coming from their own side. But Lestrin is up near the front of the boat and sees 3 shark fins, in addition to some merfolk riding them with their tridents out already. And I would like everyone to roll initiative.
Why?
Initiative. Because I rolled 11, that's why.
7.
15.
Let's see, where's my
And for some value greater than 1 plus 3.
12.
All right. Let's roll you first.
Tra-la-la.
Jesus, you're going to be slow. Okay. So, that's going to be at the end.
I'm not slow, I'm special.
Oh.
Whatever you got to.
I'm just conserving energy.
There you go. There you go. Being efficient.
Yes.
My dad always
Energy.
used to say he wasn't. He was just resting his eyes.
That was my grandpa. Just rest my eyes.
Yeah, my
And
granddad.
resting his eyes. Yeah.
Your eyes are getting heavy.
The shark has
Ooh,
a
hey.
7. God, I am rolling like crap tonight.
I'm okay with that.
What
I
I'm
mean-
hearing is attack and attack some more.
Yeah, as long as that's the attack rolls, I'm okay with it.
Okay, alright.
I'm gonna step away. I'll be right back.
Hurry back.
Lestrin,
We'll miss you.
Garret, and then we have Jyotis, Latham, and Molly. Oh, hey, that worked. Okay, I'm all lined up for initiative. So, the merfolk win. So for their turn, they are going to go underwater.
Yeah.
So they are going to deep dive
Uh-oh.
and do a double move. All 3 of them are now currently gone. You do not see their newest location yet.
We saw where they went in, right?
Yep. That brings us to Lestrin. It is your round.
Okay. Can I hold both a step forward and attack? Or do I have to
Unfortunately,
be
no.
standing?
You have to move.
Okay.
On your round, you can't hold an attack action. You could hold a move action, but that's kind of useless.
Okay, then
That's kind of cool.
so if I move right there, can I hold an attack?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna hold my javelin ready to attack one.
Okay. All right. Ready to attack anything that comes within 20 feet?
Yes.
Perfect. All right.
Are these
I'm
5
gonna,
foot
I'm gonna
squares, Bob?
stab it
Yes.
like I did before. Not losing my javelin. Stab it.
Understood.
Got it.
Which, by the way, Lestrin, with your passive perception, you would actually see one of the 3 where they're at. They're just outside of range right now, but they went deep to try to hide in the water.
Actually, Bob.
Yes.
Sorry. I was just because I did. I think the squares are 2.5 foot squares. Otherwise, the boat would be 65 feet wide.
Wait, you told me there was supposed to be 10 feet space on each side after the cabin. That's how I
No,
did it.
5 feet. 5
Oh, you kill me. Okay.
No, it's okay. It's literally just double. So the squares are 2.5 feet instead of 5 feet.
Going with what we have on the map.
Sure. We can fix it later.
I literally just have to resize the map, but it...
Fix it
Yeah.
first.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Fix it in post. So, okay.
How dare you?
I know. All right.
Sorry.
Lestrin held in action. Garret, it is now your round.
So tell me, I'm sorry, I had to step away to clean my dish, or I would have forgotten. Are they all underwater, or are any of them?
The shark fins are up on the surface. The rest are all underwater. It's just that Lestrin's passive perception noticed one of them because they rolled a really shit check.
And
Got it.
the other 2 that you can see, that's where they went down at.
Yes, correct.
So they went down here.
Yes,
Yes.
that went under there.
Yes. Would you like to swim out there?
I just needed to indicate for myself.
You can also ping on the page.
Oh,
Like,
do you right click for that, or is there?
It's a double click, I think.
Double click, yeah. Double click.
There it is. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, is this visible?
Yep. Oh.
The harpy down here.
Yes, the harpy is visible now that you are in combat. It just got a lot closer because Latham, unfortunately, did not roll well on his perception check. So,
So, do I need to actually roll a perception, or does my
no,
passive-
it is now combat. Like, that thing got close because...
All right. So I'm moving from the helm to here.
Mhm.
one sword in my right hand, firebolt at
Okay.
the harpy.
All right. Go ahead and roll.
I'm gonna. Hang on. I need to flatten my surface.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. So that is a total of 20. Dirty 20.
That will hit.
Let's smack it in the face with some fire. Have a little fire, Scarecrow, for 5 points of damage.
Okay.
So
All
I
right.
mutter to myself and make a couple of hand gestures and go,
Yeah.
Whoa!
All right. So
Fire.
that harpy lights on fire a little, and it does not appear overly happy about that.
Gary,
Is the
learn
harpy above?
magic.
Is the harpy above the surface? Or sorry,
Fire.
at the surface?
Yeah, the harpy is flying. It is currently about
Okay.
20 feet above the surface. It is coming in. It's most likely a scavenger where it's kind of waiting to see who dies out of this. But,
Mhm. Okay.
but yeah. All right. So, with that being Garrett's action, we now come to Jyotis.
Okay. I am going to cast Sanctuary on the boat.
All right. That is a good move. So the boat always moves as its lair action on the 20, but this round it did not get that because, unfortunately, naturally speaking, the one perception check made it, but the other failed. So in essence, this was the like, oh shit, something's coming. You guys weren't surprised, but you didn't get the advantage of having the boat move first to make everything else catch up. So, all right. All right. With that, Latham, your round.
Yeah. So the salvager, the one that's nearest to us, is that the only one that's visible or at surface?
You can see the shark fins at very least. The one merfolk nearest Lestrin is the one that failed its stealth check compared to Lestrin's passive perception.
Okay.
So,
First off, I'm gonna move away from the netting and get my boat somewhere not directly over the water. So small move. Something about the water and
there's something in the water, though.
in the water. And look over that merfolk. I'm like, why are you doing this? You know this is against your will. And try to win him over. And I'm going to cast Charm Person.
Yay.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. What's my saving throw?
Wiz 14.
Okay. All right. Wisdom 14.
Wisdom 14.
No. No, I got a 10 and they have a 0. So you call out and it echoes through the water and they hear it and they just kind of stop and just have that like, what life choices have I made? Thought that goes through their head. So they're just paused there. That's cool.
Okay. I'm also going to like finger guns here on Latharn. The bonus action of that's store value. Where Bardic Inspiration.
Okay. Who are you doing that to? Yourself or someone else?
Lestrin.
Okay. All right. Is it a D6 or a D4 right now?
It's 1d6.
Okay, perfect. Lestrin, you
Well-
may add a D6 to any of your rolls. You must do so before I declare if it's a hit or a miss. So if you roll and it's low, you can be like, I'm using my Bardic Inspiration and adding a D6 to the roll. All right.
I never used it from when we were in the
Yeah,
farmhouse.
it doesn't hold over that long. It's like a 10-minute hold. So,
It's 10 minutes. That's good for a battle, but like you
Yeah.
don't have to use it immediately, but you can hold on to it like for a few rounds.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. First time you roll low, probably a good idea to proc it. But you're rolling on fire tonight, so. All right.
D&D Beyond rolls good dice.
But that nearest one is somewhat friendly to us, so
Yeah.
don't hurt him.
That nearest
Over.
one is just sitting there like, man. But they're underwater still. They're about 20 feet underwater. So. All right. Next up, we have Lolly.
Oh, yay. Okay. Am I 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, think I have to walk all the way around this, or is this open to the air?
This is open air. Those are slots,
Oh,
so you can
okay.
actually just go through them.
Boink. Yeah. I am having seen Latham do that. Gonna run up to the side of the boat, point at another one of them, and cast Suggestion, and rub a little bit of honey on my mouth and go, "Hey, you really want to convince your friends to not hurt us?"
So
And
the
spend
problem
8
is
hours
the
on
other
it.
two are in stealth.
Oh, okay, so I don't see them. Sorry. My misunderstanding. Okay. My bad. I'm so sorry.
Sorry, I left them marked there so that you would know where they once were.
Ah, okay, and I don't see them anywhere. But I do see
No.
the harpy, right?
Yes, you do see the harpy.
And
It's currently
Latham did
singed.
say, don't touch that other one.
Yep.
So I'm gonna fire an Eldritch Blast. Eldritch Blast. Blast. Blast.
All right, go ahead and roll attack.
13?
That might hit. Give me 1 second. AC. Yeah, that hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
And then 7 plus 4 is 11.
Okay.
Pew,
All right, that's a
pew.
good solid hit.
And don't come back.
Did it hurt?
Well, it didn't look happy about getting blasted. All right.
So, Lolly, which one did you attack?
The harpy.
Okay.
Because you said not to touch that other one.
Yeah. Other one's currently friendly at the moment. I'm not quite sure what we're going to do with them. But, yeah, friendly at the moment.
Friends.
Yeah, well,
Two.
All right.
Friends.
Yep.
Shark's
Okay.
turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that'll do. It's gonna get right there.
Oh no.
And then, oh, I didn't mean to grab the map. Ah, silly Bob. All right, and then shark number 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, right there. And this guy is not quite gonna reach it. I think he's going to get to about right there. All right. So, 2 sharks are going to attack the boat, which means they need to make a wisdom saving throw. 1 fails and cannot attack the boat. That's an edge. The other fails and cannot attack the boat. So they both go to snap into the boat, and the sanctuary spell actually triggers, and it boom boom.
Yay. Does that mean it's gone now, though? Or
I believe Sanctuary remains up until you break concentration. Give me 1 second.
yeah, I think you're right, actually. But I didn't know if the trigger would.
Give me just a second.
Oh, it says until the spell ends,
Yeah,
or I lose concentration. So.
yeah. Know your spells.
Yep.
All right. Okay.
Good.
So 2 of them try to bite down, and it doesn't quite sink in. There's some sort of protective barrier with that silvery blue energy. And now we get to the harpy's turn. The harpy. Let's see. Your movement speed is fly 40. Cool. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Right there. And... oh, yeah. Okay. The harpy starts to sing, and I need everyone to make a wisdom saving throw.
Damn it.
No.
Oh no.
13.
You said wisdom.
I said wisdom.
Oh, wisdom saving throw. Ooh, even better.
Yeah.
15.
Okay.
18.
Nat
Dirty 20.
Nat 20.
Okay. Lestrin,
Oh,
you
no,
are
Lester.
effectively charmed,
So.
and unfortunately, it has to keep singing to you, but this song just fills your heart with some sort of joy, whereas the rest of you hear this Lestrin
God.
come through with this flowing, oh, 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 and for some
So
odd
it
reason,
sounds like
Dwarf-
New Age music.
yeah, yeah, it's getting. Western is getting some Inya.
Diggy, diggy,
Oh
hole.
no. And yeah.
Oh, and yeah.
So
Yeah, I'm going with Diggy Hole.
all right. All right. So, each of your rounds, you must try to move as close to the harpy as you can get. That is the charm effect.
Oh, shit.
It is now top of the round, and the boat is going to move. And that said, it moves 35 feet per round, which means...
Can I
10,
control which way it moves on my turn, that is?
Yes. 15, 20, 25, 30. And then 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. 5, 10, 15, 25. Okay. All right. So,
Cool.
that is the boat's round. It is now the merfolk's turn. One of them, who has been just charmed, is just kind of floating there like, why did I do this? This is weird.
Friends.
I'm glad that Tiefling called me out. And they surface and just give this gentle wave to you. And when they surface, they hear the harpy song and have to make a throw.
Oh.
But they were
Wouldn't they be
thankfully already charmed, so they can't actually be recharmed by something else. Sorry.
Oh.
That one is
My charm is
immune
stronger
to
than
it.
yours.
That one is effectively immune to it. The other two, though, do not surface this round. Wherever they are, they're not coming up. It is now Lestrin's turn.
Can I make a check?
At the end of your turn, you can make a saving throw, but this round you have to move 30 feet towards the harpy.
Damn it.
It's like right there.
Yeah,
Boxes
that's
get
about
lost
right.
on the net.
Yeah, no, you're fine. End of your turn, you can make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. I rolled a 1.
Well, buddy, you are
buddy.
you are real determined to get to that lady because she's just got the best voice. It's just amazing and glorious.
Maybe Garret can trip me.
All right, so Garret, it is your round.
How's my battlefield awareness? Can I tell that something's wrong with Lestrin?
Lestrin went from being pointed to defending a bunch of merfolk and to running straight this way.
Wow.
And
Okay. Is there something around me that is not tied down, that is mobile, that I can just pick up or move easily? A chunk of wood, a barrel, a python, anything.
I think we lost his mic again.
my mic cut out again. So, I'm back now. Garret, you see that ropey stuff that is about 15 feet from you?
Yep. This thing right here?
Yeah, that could do.
All right. I'm going to select one of those items that weighs, I would say, around 5 pounds, and I'm going to cast Catapult.
Yep.
All right.
And I'm going to fling it at the harpy at an incredible rate of speed.
Yep.
Yay.
Roll attack.
Yay.
She must roll a DC 13 dexterity save.
Okay. Unfortunately, I got an 18 on the dice.
Shit.
So that is a total of a 19 on her dex. Does she take half?
I'm reading it now.
That sounds right.
Let's see. If the object would strike a creature, that creature must make it on a failed save. The object strikes the creature and stops moving. In either case, both the object and creature or solid surface take 3d8 bludgeoning. So it still impacts her. She just
Takes half from my hearing.
I think half is right. Doesn't it say half?
it doesn't actually. If the object would strike a creature, the creature must make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, so it's
and it says on a failed save, the object strikes the target
Okay,
and
so
stops
then-
moving.
so then
In
on a
either case, both the object and creature or solid surface take the damage.
So what's the save for?
I have no idea.
No idea. I'm gonna call it that it's half damage. Okay, I'm
Yeah,
just calling
that's
it.
fair. Because it says in either case, both the object and the creature or solid surface take 3d8.
Yeah.
Oh shit. That's two. Okay, I rolled 2d8 and got 13. So let's roll the last one there, and that's 17 damage.
Okay.
So
So
half
7.
of that is going to be 8.
Okay. All right. So she takes 8 as a steel bearing that had been there to secure some of the rope. You just pick it up and use that bit of new magic that you've learned in the back of your mind and just focus and you fire it. She moves out of the way, but it still hits her wing and clips through it. And you hear this like, ah! Because that is painful.
Is that going to disrupt her song?
Let's see. That is a negative. The luring song is not stopped by that. So, yeah, it only ends if the harpy is incapacitated.
Oh, that's next on our agenda.
All right. It's still a solid hit, though.
Yes.
Okay. All right. With that, Jyotis.
Okay. So, question. Can
Potential
I... Well, I am helming the boat, so my crossbow is a two-handed weapon. Can I hold the helm with my leg?
Make an acrobatics check.
Like knee it so that I can use my crossbow.
Make an acrobatics check.
Ah,
Cool.
my one good knee.
That's my squeezing arm.
Acrobatics. Hey, that's... Damn it, we're... There.
First one.
I got a dirty 20.
Yes. You loop your leg in and hold the helm.
Sweet. Alright.
Question, though. Are you doing this with your peg leg or with your real leg?
Right?
Real leg. Peg leg
Okay.
is supporting
Okay.
me.
I mean, you
Okay.
could just pull off your peg leg and stick it through the thing.
You know, I could. I could sit
That
on
would
the
be
wheel.
an action. So,
It would. It totally would be an action. But anyway.
Cool actor.
Be an experience too.
Anyway, I'm going to shoot at the harpy with
okay.
my crossbow.
Le crossbow.
Le crossbow
Crossbow.
that is also currently still repeat shot. Because I never took it away.
Nope, you didn't.
So, tech is 15 to hit.
15 will hit.
Woo! 1d8 plus 3. That's 8 damage on the first shot. Second shot. Is an 18 to hit.
That will also hit.
Yay! And it takes 8 again.
Very consistent.
Right.
It is barely hanging in there.
Oh, Bob, I just reread it because I was reading it off of my my phone. On D&D Beyond, the save is to determine whether the object continues to fly after it strikes its target.
Oh, cool.
Neat.
Oh, so if it makes the save, the object continues, but if it doesn't, then it's...
Correct. Like, if there
Okay.
were two of them in a line, the object could have continued and struck another target. So it says, if the object would strike a creature, the creature must make a dexterity saving throw. On a failed save, the object strikes the target and stops moving.
Oh, neat.
Gotcha.
It strikes something, and the object and what it strikes each take 3d8. So it would have taken the full 17, and then the object would have fallen into the sea instead of continuing to
All
fly.
right, well, I'm sorry, but I made a ruling on this.
No,
We'll do it
for
next time.
future reference.
Okay,
That's cool.
okay.
Pew.
Know our spells.
Well, I was reading the spell, but I was reading it out of an app on my phone and not
Yeah,
D&D
no,
Beyond.
but
Oh,
D&D Beyond is better.
yes.
It is. It's
Yeah,
good stuff.
I
Just
forgot to
have it
click on the
open.
spell. It's just I have it open. I had the book open, the spell open on my phone already, and forgot about. Oh, I can just click it here.
Okay, Latham, it is your round.
All right. So we have the one that's charmed, and then is it the harpy that's been pew-pewed? No, we have
Yeah,
the
the
other
harpy is looking rough. Like, she has taken a few hits.
Pew pew? Question mark? He says questioningly with a hand crossbow that questioningly flies. Then for a 16.
That's a hit.
1d6 plus 3. 7 damage.
Woo, that does it. She takes it right in the neck, and that is incapacitated. Lestrin, you come to your senses just as you are running towards the edge of the boat. Had Latharm and Lolly not managed to kill this thing, it would have been bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is dead. It is gone. Goodbye, Harpy.
Thumb
Goodbye.
Yo-yo, you mean?
So, with that, the Harpy is dead. Lolly, it is your round now.
Yes. Everybody's looking okay. Good. No more lustering craziness. Good.
Yeah, Lestrin's eyes kind of come back to normal.
Okay, so I don't see the 3 sharks under the boat, I assume.
No,
I do
and
see the merfolk.
right, you just see him kind of waving gently to the boat too. He's just
Hi.
he's happy. He's happy about his life choices right now.
Yeah. These are great people.
What about the other 2? Have they poked their heads up yet?
Not yet.
Don't love them.
Is that a statement or an order?
Don't love them. Shoot.
I
Can I
forbid you
just
from seeing that
hold
boat
an
again.
Eldritch Blast until I see any of the other 2 or the sharks
Yeah,
pop
you
up?
can
Okay.
hold an Eldritch Blast until you see something within range to attack. That is
Sparkle
fine.
fingers.
Okay.
I'm also
Sparkle,
gonna move
sparkle.
it back over here.
Okie dokie. All right. So, with that, I get to roll 3 wisdom saving shows as the sharks are going to try to attack the boat.
Yay.
Okay,
Honestly.
1 makes it. Number 2 makes it.
Go.
Number 3 does not. So, we're doing 2 attacks on the boat via some shark teeth,
Turds.
Shark.
and they have advantage with pack tactics.
Tactics.
Yeah.
No.
All right. All right. So, okay, that's a hit, and then the other one is a miss. So one of them somehow managed to miss a boat, even with advantage.
Yay.
At the broadside of a boat.
Yep. All right. 1d8 plus 2. It's not going to do too much damage, but it's still going to bite down. All right, the boat takes 8 points of damage as the shark crunches into it, and you hear the little
Hey, fucker, that's my boat.
Hey.
Right? Bitches.
All right. Harpy is dead. We don't have to worry about Harpy. So it is top of the round. The boat moves again,
You're
which
welcome.
the one shark that actually did bite it gets to make a strength saving to see if it gets a grapple. It does. That shark is staying where it is. Shark number 3 and 2 are coming along, though. So shark number 3. All right. And then we come to the merfolk, which merfolk number 3 is going to come up under the netting to try to get an attack on Lestrin.
And take an Eldritch
That's
Blast to
why
the
we-
face.
Yep.
Get away from the water.
So, Lolly, you may roll attack on it.
Does an 11 hit?
Let me see. It does not, unfortunately.
Aw, sad.
You know, it's
I'll
just
try
the
not to
vision
hit
range of the netting.
Yeah, I'm trying not to hit the netting. I'm trying to get between it.
Yeah, yeah. All right, and then. Okay, so that is
Quit
a hit.
farting.
I can't help it.
Re-
Poot, poot, poot.
Where did my Kindle go?
All right.
Kindle.
Alexa,
All right.
find Dan's Kindle.
Okay, not helpful. 7 piercing damage to you, Lestrin, and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
To Lestrin?
1
Yes.
on the dice. 6 total.
Oh no,
Oh no.
Lestrin, would you like to roll your d6 now and use your bardic inspiration?
Oh, yeah, I would.
How much is that? Do you want to save that for your
I'm using
death
it
saves?
now.
Yeah. I have Spare the Dying, so hopefully we don't use that, but who
Be
knows?
plus 5 for a total of 11.
Nice.
11? Good, that's what you needed. You take the damage, but you're not going to take the added fun effect. So, okay.
Behind door
You
number
take
3.
7
More fun.
points of you take 7 points of poison damage,
I
but
had
you are
to
not
get
paralyzed. You feel like the edge of the rapier that it stuck you with in the leg had this greenish brackish liquid all over it, and it went into your body, and you felt that pulse through the leg where the leg went numb for a second, and you just channeled a little bit of that anger and that storm fury and went, no.
I have defense against poison as well.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. So you would roll with advantage. I'm sorry. Would you make one more roll?
The Constitution,
Yeah.
20 total.
Yeah, so it's half damage, actually. So it would be 3 points of damage instead of 7.
And I
Sorry.
preserve my Bardic Inspiration.
Failure by 5 or more is normally what causes the, like, really bad effect.
Okay, but
Does she still burn her?
You already used it, yeah.
Inspiration.
Yeah.
It
Technically, you
doesn't-
already
I don't
declared it.
care, but
It's, bonus
I'd
action,
give
so
it back
always.
this time because I forgot that she had advantage.
Oh. Yeah.
So, I'll give it back.
yeah, I didn't know why I was rolling in 5 saves.
Yeah. Yeah. I forgot about dwarvenness. Lolly, you are going to get a surprise attack also as a merfolk is popping up out of the water to say hello.
Not okay.
Uh-huh. Lolly, what's your AC? You're pretty easy to hit.
13.
Yeah, I got you.
Aw, even with mage armor.
Yeah.
Okay.
We need to boost your speed. Make it faster. Get that dex up.
Dex, yeah.
All about that.
Let's talk about Dex, baby.
And me.
Okay, Lolly, I need a con saving throw, please.
Okay. Con saving Oh, that's pretty good. 17.
Okay. 7 points of piercing damage
Ow.
and 4 points of poison damage.
Oh,
You are
no. Owie.
You are not paralyzed,
Okay.
but it comes up and just sticks you right in the belly. And thankfully, you store stuff in there, and that's what prevents the poison
Ow.
from actually getting anywhere.
You just pierced
Really?
my pouch instead of my delicate, sensitive organs.
It's true. It was still a bad hit, but yeah, you feel that, again, that thick, green, brackish liquid just pours all into you, and you're like, no!
Ew.
Okay. With that, Lestrin, it is now your round.
Can I hit it with my great axe?
I would love you to.
Okay.
Oh, no,
I just
don't
wanna
hit the
make
boat.
Like I could hit it, through the rope and stuff.
It basically gets a +2 to its AC due to the rope, but so do you. So,
Haha.
Oh, natural 20 to hit.
all right.
Go, Lester. You the dwarf.
Oh, and can I
Roll me some
rage?
damage.
I'm gonna rage.
Oh, yeah.
Rage? Oh, yeah.
Rajay. Ooh.
Roger.
Roger.
13 damage.
Roger Damali.
Okay. Well, it is looking rough. Like, you just take your great axe after it poked you in the leg and went like, oh yeah, and you bring it down right into its arm, and it crunches and slides up and cuts across its neck. It doesn't behead it, but it was close. There's just this black purple liquid leaking out all over it right now, and it opens its mouth like, okay.
Yay, dwarves.
Yeah, Lestrin communicated Lestrin's displeasure.
Mhm.
Garret, your round.
So, I'm assuming that Lestrin just killed that one?
That one looks bloodied, but not dead.
Ah. Wow. And the one that stabbed Lolly is out of my view, I take it.
It's off the edge of the boat, so you can make a
Yeah.
perception check with your bonus action.
Ow, loud noises. My organs. Pay
Ow.
attention to me, Gary. Who knows
How,
magic?
how far is that across? That's like...
Each square is 5 feet. I know it's a bit hard to see with the netting, so 10, 15,
Yeah,
20.
that's not-
It should be roughly 60 feet to the long
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
gosh. I'm sorry, I was playing it that we were 2.5, because that... Wait, what? Okay.
Well, we'll fix that later. But yeah, I mean
it's
the
not like
boat's
I was
only
attacking
32.
while doing it,
The
yeah.
boat's only 32 feet wide. But we'll
I
fix
mean,
that later.
Yeah. Eldritch Blast
Stab.
has 120-foot range, so I'm good, but... I don't
Okay.
like
All right,
I'm a
going after.
stabby.
Okay. All right,
That is 21 to hit.
that will hit.
Is 7 damage.
Okay. It is definitely not looking good.
Stabby. And as my bonus, can I draw and stab with my offhand?
Yes.
Alright. That is a... It rolled. That's 18 total.
That will hit.
And that's another... That's the same as last time, so it's another 7.
Yeah, this time it's dead. And essentially, your stabby, the first stab you go for is just to pin it against a wooden board, and then you take your other blade in your offhand and you draw it out and stab it right through the heart, and it just gives this cough of like, and you see the side gills alongside of its neck open and flutter really quick with this, and then it dies.
Have a very pretty death, or a very spectacular death.
Yeah. It's gone. Okay, Jyotis, your round.
Okay, this is a DM question. Bob,
Mhm. Yes.
I have Eldritch Cannons.
Yes.
One of them is a protector.
Uh-huh.
Can I grant temp hit points to the boat? It says creature
I'll
of your
allow it.
choice.
I will allow it. Just like we've allowed Sanctuary, I will allow it.
Okay. So I'm going to create myself a handheld Eldritch Cannon with legs, and I'm going to put it up on my shoulder, and it's the protector kind, and any people within 10 feet of me I can grant them 1d8 temp HP.
All right, we'll go ahead and roll because it's you in the boat right now. That's
Yep.
the only.
So the boat gets 7,
Okay.
and Jyotis gets 5.
Okay. All right. So, boat almost has all of its hit points back, basically, with that temp HP. All right.
Only an artificer could pull that off, too. I know how to heal wood, guys.
I do it!
All right. Latham.
Yeah, so got a lot going on deck here. Who will be looking the shabbiest?
Well, right now,
Lester's
Lestrin's
upside
been
down.
hit. Lolly's
Yeah.
been hit.
Yeah.
Oh no,
That-
that's the way I was looking.
No. Okay, sorry, I got my distracted. In the other corner of my window, there's sparkly fireworks going off. Cool.
No worries.
That was
I hope
impressive.
that's just fireworks.
Damn.
It's been a fun game for a while. Anyways, so we have the Hunter Shark 2. Hunter Shark. Hunter Shark 2 in front of me. How is he looking?
The sharks are looking fresh. They have not been hurt. The shark right there, you can see it because it's just under the surface. That's not the one that managed to grab the boat.
Okay, so sorry, these sharks are underneath the boat.
Yes.
Oh
Okay.
shit.
They're not smart sharks.
Okay, not jumping up yet.
Yeah.
Well, you and Salvager 2 having fun over there. God, I really can't talk my way out of this one, can I?
Well, I mean, you got one guy who's just like waving, like,
I know,
"Thanks,
I was going to
buddy.
say quite the
Good
opposite.
advice."
Yeah, no, I got one guy, and I do intend to ask him about the storm dude they saw earlier, like floating on by, and be like, hey, what about that? Anyways,
No.
yeah, I don't want to attack his buddy because that might break the spell. I don't think it will, but I'm gonna.
No, it will not break unless it is him who gets attacked.
Yeah. In that case. Here's really good.
Wow, Kitty.
I know. He just woke up. He's an old man.
By the way, Bob, I reread the spell. I forgot to add my intel mod, but I won't worry about it this time.
Well,
Okay.
Yes.
you're feeling particularly inspired now.
Ooh, yay, because I've got a dumb idea.
Okay. Let's see what dumb idea be. But,
Okay.
finger guns.
Pew pew. Oh my gosh, do you know locks? Okay, wait, we got to talk later.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all I'm waiting for this one.
All right. Okay. Lolly, it is your round. You
Yay!
have been inspired by the finger guns of
It's a
a fellow
D8?
tiefling.
Yay,
D6.
finger guns.
D6. Okay, cool. Still awesome. Okay. Ironically, I don't want something to roll yet, so I'm going to store that away. But I am going to grab a little honey, wipe it on my lips, point out to the merfolk salvager number 2, and cast suggestion.
All right.
Call
What's
off
my
your
saving
sharks
throw?
and take your buddy and go north, as far north as you can. Your saving
Okay.
throw is 14 wisdom.
Oh, I don't think that made it.
Are you kidding me?
Nope. Gives a look at you, gives this nod like,
Yeah, that makes sense.
good idea.
No place here.
Yeah. Yeah. And with that, as a free action, it will give a call, like, and it gives it in this, like, watery, almost, and you feel like the sharks are starting to swim away. And then it turns towards its partner and gives this like look at him, and he just keeps looking towards Latham like, hey, 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 I'm so glad you didn't let me get killed. Thanks, buddy. And the salvager shakes its head a little and just, he may not come. You come too. And with that, the salvager will attempt to dive and run away from you. With that, initiative is over. I'm sorry, that suggestion just ended.
Woo!
Should have thrown some unsettled words on. I thought about the other one, throwing unsettled words on Salvager. Salvager 2.
Yeah, no, but
like,
the sharks
really
disengage, and Salvager 2 is now taken away.
Yay.
But Latharn, you do notice that your buddy is still sitting there, like, kind of waving and keeping up with the boat, like, hey! Hey! And you can tell that it's legitimately holding its action to move along with the boat. Like, it's...
Senpai, notice me!
Yeah.
Well, Senpai is going to be Senpai for only...
A few minutes.
Yeah, so if we're gonna... Let's not... It's going to be a very short-lived little manga series.
Uh-huh.
Oh no. Senpai, stop noticing
Do they
me.
speak
They
common?
They do,
Okay,
because...
cool.
And you would know this because the one actually just spoke to Lolly, like, good idea. And then disengaged.
Okay.
Because number 2 also watched Salvager number 3 be brutally stabbed by Lesterin and Gary.
So, quick question, just run up here to the thing, like, hey! Well done! So what was you guys were after? Like, why the attack?
Scavenging. Boat supplies, food,
Yeah, but like, you could have just asked.
tribute. We have to...
Who?
Oh, when they say they're looking for food, I'm gonna ask them if they want the marlin.
Yeah.
We have rations.
We take marlin. And like, it's just slowly nodding along. And when it's asked who, Sahagin.
Oh, wait a second.
Sahagin and Deep Lurkers.
Oh.
Okay, clearly know something about that. Looks like there's some material supplies like right around the corner over here. Is there a marlin bag or a fish or something I can give?
Yeah, this boat is stocked with stuff.
Okay, I'm gonna throw a couple over at him.
Yeah, and you see him gather the supplies, and he actually gets out a net and gathers it up swiftly, and then looks up at you, and just, why nice? People are not nice.
All you gotta do is ask. All you gotta do is talk. That's how the world works. You just gotta say something.
I'll bet you could be a really good trader. I mean, you live in the ocean.
Roll
Get from places fast.
Roll a persuasion check, Lolly, and roll it with advantage as he is
okay.
As he is charmed.
Okay.
Oh, natural 20. Yes, and +4, so 24.
He looks at you with, once deal with Sahagin and Deep Lurkers is done, no more salvaging, trading. Here, take coin. And he reaches into his pocket.
Into his pocket? He has mermaid pockets?
He cut out again.
Robot. I'm gonna pretend that he stopped before he said mermaid pockets. But we know what's up.
Fuck you so much.
There he is! I fixed it, guys!
No, it might keeps cutting out randomly, and it's really annoying, actually.
It's because
Like-
that button that Lolly installed, where like she could push it.
Oh,
So,
kill your legs.
the thing
oh,
that
I
he
live
reached,
on that button.
these ones wear armor.
So
So
once
it reached
the
into a
D-
pouch and flicked up this little chunk of silver coin towards you.
Oh, thank you,
And-
buddy.
Interestingly enough, it appears like it's a shellfish shell that has been silvered.
Oh, cool.
Cool.
Okay.
And he gives a nod and just show and get safe passage from salvagers.
Ooh.
Thank
How
you.
do we?
Good luck
How
on
do
your
we flag
trade.
them down? Get them to stop attacking us.
Well, I'm sure we could
First.
talk to them like these guys next time. We'll
Is
just
there
let them
a
get
symbol?
closer.
A large.
We'll hold it up.
Yeah.
Good luck on your trade. I think you should really like consider with your speed and your connections. You know, just try talk it out sometimes. You don't always have to fight.
Try talking out sometime. Yes, good idea.
You
I
may,
must
you may
go.
yet be a tradesman. Good luck.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
And with that, goes diving down. So it is past midnight, so we're going to wrap up there in an encounter that I did not assume was going to end quite like that, but it's interesting that it did. That was-
So he said their tribute to Sahagin and the deep something
deep lurkers.
lurkers.
Deep lurkers. Remember
Okay.
that?
Lolly, you can actually make a history check really quick.
Oh, what? You know what? I'm gonna add my inspiration dice. 7 plus history 3, so 10.
Plus your inspiration.
Yep, that was total.
Wow.
Yeah, I rolled
well,
really
that-
badly.
That's still enough to remember that earlier, because it was only basically one day ago in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
the lighthouse master referred to Jyotis as deep lurker. And with that, we are going to conclude tonight.
Oh boy, what? How could you drop that and leave? Okay. I wouldn't know anything about
I'm
that.
perfectly fine with that.
I'm fine with that.
It is midnight. Sam needs sleep. She's been working
Yes.
all day.
Sam,
No
thank
kidding.
you for keeping
I-
our parks cool and clean.
No kidding.
And
I
chasing
only
off
like
people who aren't
almost
wearing
fell
masks.
asleep 4 times.
Oh, you're good. We totally get it.
Yep.
I heard Sam and sleep on that first one.
You
I'm
were
like,
like,
oh shit,
yeah.
I guess I did.
You're too
It's
far
okay.
away to unicorn horn now.
Session. Well,
That
someday we'll do it live.